In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on April 8, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Miami Marlins versus San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants play host to the Miami Marlins on Friday afternoon in the season opener for both teams from Oracle Park. The two had very different seasons in 2021 but did meet 7 times, with the Giants clinging to a 4-3 lead in the season series. This year doesn't predict to be close in terms of where these two end up in the standings, but given the layoff for both sides in the offseason, Russ could end up being the almighty equalizer in this one. The Giants will be disappointed to not start this season with a bang, but the Marlins certainly have the ability to make things interesting. It's opening day in the Bay, and we're in for a treat between two of the National League's top pitchers. Sandy Alcantara gets the nod for Miami, while San Francisco will go with Logan Webb. I like the Giants to win this game at home today. Webb was dominant at home in 2021. Hosting an earned run average of 1.96. He's primed for another big season as he steps into the headlining role of the starting rotation. Miami's offense was just too incompetent in 2021, and I think some of those woes will carry over this season. They added Jorge Soler and Avisail Garcia, but those two can only do so much. The rest of the lineup will have to step up, and I just don't see it against a guy like Webb. Additionally, I love the move for the Giants to bring in Jock Pederson. Pederson's a great clubhouse guy and should spark the offensive production this year. Miami is expected to play much better this season, but the Marlins have struggled on the road and in general against San Francisco. Miami has lost 4 of the last 5 versus San Francisco and 4 out of the last 5 that the Marlins have played in San Francisco. San Francisco will have ace Logan Webb on the mound, who last season was 11-3 with a 2.97 earned run average, and will keep the Miami batting order in check. So the San Francisco Giants money line is our full game side pick. Having Webb on the mound for San Francisco will certainly keep them on the front foot and help their chances of keeping Miami at bay on the offensive end. Miami's bats, which focus on the long ball, won't match up well against Webb in this one, stunting their run production. For the Giants, missing a few key bats should keep them quiet as well. And while they'll score enough to come away with the win, it's likely to come in a pitcher's duel. Additionally, the under was 3-0-1 in Miami's last 4 Friday games to close out the 2021 season, and the under is 9-2-1 in the last 12 meetings overall between the two teams. The Marlins' offense was among the league's worst in 2021. They added a couple of powerful hitters in Jorge Soler and Avisail Garcia, but the duo can only do so much. Miami is running into Logan Webb, who posted a home earned run average or 1.96 last season with the walks and hits per inning pitched of 0.96. There will likely be a shortage of runs for the Marlins, and I expect Alcantara to match the output of Webb. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Mets versus Washington Nationals. The nation's capital hosts the second game of the MLB regular season on Friday between the visiting New York Mets and host Washington Nationals. The New York Mets will play their second game of the 2022 regular season on Friday after opening day on Thursday. Last season, New York was 77-85 and finished 3rd in the National League East. The Mets finished 11.5 games behind the first-place Atlanta Braves. The Mets start the season without their ace Jacob deGrom, who will miss a minimum of 4 weeks. New York added to its starting rotation with the acquisition of Max Scherzer, who will start on Friday, and Chris Bassett. Washington's pitching staff continues to struggle as Steven Strasburg has pitched only 26.5 innings during the last 2 seasons, and Joe Ross remained on the injured list. Last season, Washington was 65-97 and last in the National League East, 23.5 games behind division champion Atlanta. The Nationals are not expected to do much in 2022, With an inexperienced pitching staff and little power at the plate beyond Juan Soto and the recently acquired 41-year-old Nelson Cruz, Max Scherzer has officially been cleared to start for the Mets on Friday against his former team. That alone sounds like reason enough to be all over the Mets. Not many pitchers have shown the fire that Scherzer has on the mound, and if they do, they likely haven't had the success Scherzer has had. Boy oh boy, will he have a chip on his shoulder for this matchup or what? What certainly bodes well for him is a seemingly soft Nationals lineup. That remains to be seen this season, but off the cusp, it looks like Washington will be relying on only a couple guys for offense and will struggle otherwise. A Mad Max against his former team that consists largely of young, unproven players is a great matchup for the Mets. Meanwhile, the Mets offense will get a shot at 24-year-old Josiah Gray. Gray's rookie year was inconsistent overall but showed decent upside. This will be his first full season as a full-time starter, if health and performance allow. That is, if he shows any bit of nerves. The Mets have a very good lineup that could jump on him in a big way. In his lone start against the Mets last season, Gray allowed 6 earned runs on 7 hits and 2 home runs in 3 innings of work. It's only one start, granted, but the Mets lineup has only gotten better since that September 2021 game. This is a great spot for the Mets lineup to jump on the back of their co-ace. We should have a pretty good matchup here regardless though, and it'll be an interesting one to watch considering all the mutual familiarity. In any case, Scherzer is going to be a significant piece for the Mets this year. If he can continue his run from last season, we should see quite a bit of improvement from the Mets when he's on the mound. So the New York Mets money line is our full game side pick. Scherzer is obviously familiar with Nationals Park. He sported a 2.32 earned run average in 9 starts their last season, and I expect 6 innings or more from the star. The Mets bullpen is more than capable of holding a late lead. They ranked 5th in the National League with a 3.9 earned run average last season. In addition, the New York offense is good on paper but is known to underachieve. They ranked 27th overall in runs last season. With that said, I expect a majority of the offense to occur from the Mets and very little from the Nationals. The under is also 17-8-2 in the Mets' last 27 road games. New York Mets starting pitcher Max Scherzer had a solid 2.76 earned run average during 2021. The total has finished under in 8 of New York's last 12 against a team from the National League East and in 17 of the last 27 that the Mets have played while on the road. New York's pitching staff is coming off a spring training in which the Mets had a 3.48 earned run average. Washington has seen the total finish under in 4 of its last 5 played at home. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas Rangers versus Toronto Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays could do a whole lot more last year, finishing 91-71, but that was only good enough for 4th in the highly competitive American League East. Tampa Bay, New York, and Boston are all poised for success again in 2022. So it would behoove Toronto to get off to a fast start to the season. The Texas Rangers brought up the rear in the American League West last season, but they look much improved after a busy offseason. The way Texas approached the offseason, they aren't just trying to get out of the basement. It looks like the Rangers want to legitimately contend with the Astros and others atop the division. These are 2 of the most hyped teams of the offseason in the American League. Texas loaded up their middle infield with offense thanks to the free agent additions of SS Corey Seager and former Blue Jay 2B Marcus Semien. There is no doubt this team has improved, but they also look like they are going to be paying a lot of money to be a .500 team at best. Toronto is looking to improve on a season that saw them win 91 games and miss the playoffs on the final day of the season. They were busy this offseason too, signing pitchers Kevin Gausman and Yusei Kikuchi and trading for 3B Matt Chapman, who is very familiar with the Rangers from his time with Oakland. Toronto looks like one of the most complete teams in the majors on paper to start the season. Texas is leaning on their other big acquisition, John Gray, who gets the opening day start. I think he could thrive with a change of scenery, but starting the season at Toronto against one of the best lineups in the league is a tough first outing. Toronto is giving the ball to Jose Berrios, who was great for the Jays after being acquired by trade from Minnesota midseason, so much so that the Jays gave him the largest extension in franchise history this offseason. Expectations are high in Toronto because this team should pitch and hit better as well as any in the American League. Gray will be a little unfamiliar to the Jays, but that won't last long. Toronto is heavily favored in this matchup, so the run line is the way to play the Jays in their home opener. The only thing that gives me pause is the pregame hoopla that is likely to be present as they start a season in Toronto for the first time since 2019. Sometimes that hurts the home side. The Rangers are 1-6 in the last 7 meetings in Toronto, but I'm not sure that hold here. The Texas Rangers should be better than they were a year ago, and they have some value as an underdog here with Gray on the mound. However, there's a lot of excitement around the Toronto Blue Jays, and the city should be buzzing for this season opener. The electricity in a packed house should get the bats going and lead to some fireworks. I'm not stepping in front of the Blue Jays here, even if Jose Berrios can be up and down at times. The Blue Jays should take care of business here as they are debuting Berrios with high hopes to start the season. It should take a while for the Rangers to get things going with the new additions at bat. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Gray and Berrios are opening day starters, but they both had their fair share of issues last season. When you combine that with two potent offenses that feature Seager, Semien, Guerrero, J.R. Chapman, and more than that, it seems like it's going to lead to a lot of runs on Friday. The shortened spring training will also lead to pitch counts for both starters, meaning it's going to be good offenses against bullpens early. The Rangers' offense was terrible in 2021, but with Seager and Semien on the roster, they should be more dangerous this season. Based on his spring training results, Berrios may still need to work through some rust, which is good news for the Texas bats. This spring, Berrios allowed 15 hits and 10 earned runs in just 8 innings, giving him an 11.25 earned run average and 2.25 walks and hits per inning pitched. The Blue Jays bats will be up to the challenge of getting Berrios and their bullpen the necessary support. In 2021, Toronto was second in the American League, averaging just over 5.5 runs per game at home. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.